If you go into your local Walmart, go to your local Target, walk down the child's aisle, walk down the toys aisle. On your left-hand side, you're going to see nothing but Hannah Montana and princesses, Disney princesses. Hannah Montana's Disney as well. Realize Disney is a military-industrial complex that is programming your brain, has been programming since the days of Fantasia. And realize who they are, and realize that Walt Disney was a 32nd-degree Freemason hired by J. Edgar Hoover, a 33rd-degree Freemason, to program this type of witchcraft and mind control into children. Now, what's critical that I'm saying here, with you walking down your shopping aisle, when you see on your left all of your princesses and your Hannah Montanas, and you see on your right all your Star Wars and Transformers, this is the Princess Warrior programming being played out right in your shopping stores, and that should make you realize how much of a fascist dictatorship you live under. This is military-industrial complex programming that is right there at Target and Walmart. Princess Warrior programming, they teach the children to buy little gummy bling cell phones, and then they teach the little boys to go out and kill to get it for her. And that's how they work this, and that's why sex is one of their greatest powers that they use against us. And just look at your shopping malls, realize who is putting those products on your shelves, and realize what a fascist dictatorship we actually live in and have lived in for quite some time.
Henry?
Yes. So are you saying, Freeman, the Monarch program, can you explain that a little more to answer the caller's question?
Sure.
What is Monarch?
All right, what we're looking at is the Monarch program. That goes back to MK Ultra, and it was the early Nazi experiments and American experiments into mind control. And what it requires is to bring about an alter within a child. And so what you would do is to traumatize that child through sexual abuse, through physical abuse, through nurturing and hate all at the same time. And you create a multi-personality disorder, or DID. And this will then allow an alter to be programmed, and they use these type of Monarch programs as ritual goddesses. And what tends to happen is that around 26, the programming starts to break. They start to realize who they are and what they've been doing. Now, the scary thing about Monarch programming and mind control is that they don't know themselves that they are mind control slaves. And then it starts to awaken. And it makes you wonder about the 27 Club, all the different rock stars that died. Then you realize, you look at Britney Spears, oh, poor girl. Now, it's not her fault, right? She's a Disney-programmed princess that was brought before us as this goddess Inanna. That's why you see her with her serpent. You can see it in the film I did with Tex Mars on Codex Magica. And we outlined the whole ritual that Madonna and Britney do with Christina Aguilera, who is also a Mouseketeer. So just, constantly remember who's doing this. Walt Disney, right? and so what this is creating... And what has happened is they took this program that was just initiating ritual goddesses, because they would use these altars in their ritual, and by altar I mean their other personality that was programmed with a goddess form, and they would use them in their rituals. But what is happening now is everyone is being inundated with trauma. That's why you see these horrific films that are coming out like Saw or Transformers, or the things that are engineered to children to traumatize them, because they need all of us to be these multi-personality disordered schizoids. And that's yeah.
In their programming, are you talking about the subliminal aspect, where the children are watching? We're all watching these programs. We're getting fed certain signs and.
No, this is harsh trauma. This is open killing on children's cartoons, slaughter. Now, you'll notice in Disney's films, they always kill the mother. This is another trait of Monarch mind control.
Say that again, please.
That they always kill the mother in Disney films. Like if you look at Finding Nemo or The Little Mermaid, these films will show you that in any of the Disney princesses, they don't have mothers. They're always dead or orphans, not mentioned at all. And this is part of the absent mother, the Shekinah power that they use. So that's why when we attacked Baghdad and they called it the shock and awe, that's the play on the word Shekinah, which is a Hebrew word, and it's the Hebrew form of the goddess. And so the absent mother plays into this ritual programming in that level where they separate you from this nurturing love. And so what they do in you subject your poor child to Finding Nemo, and a big old barracuda comes up and eats his mom. Now, to us, we're watching a cartoon. We have a dissociation with it. We don't think of it as real, but the child does, and the child feels that trauma, and then that starts to create the schisms, and they just keep pounding with that, and it gets more and more vicious as you get up through the levels. You know, G.I. Joe, Transformers, things of this nature that seem innocuous are actually horribly violent, and this is causing severe traumatic events.
What do you make of the Michael Jackson death?
Oh, my gosh.
That's why I wanted to get this in before the end of the night.
Right. Well, Michael Jackson was very concerned about his death. There's no doubt about it. When he was with Lisa Marie Presley, and that's kind of interesting because we've got a Jehovah's Witness with a Scientologist. You know, Michael used to dress up as a large, fat white man and go witness to people as a Jehovah's Witness. He was very adamant. He was very concerned with his death. When he kept telling Lisa Marie that he felt like he was going to be the next Elvis, that he was going to die like Elvis. When Princess Diana died, he said, "There's going to be another one, and I hope it's not me." This is something he has been very concerned about. Now, when he went out and bought an exact replica of the golden sarcophagus of King Tut, he was questioned as to whether or not he was going to be buried in that, and Michael said, "No, I'm going to live forever." Now, very curious about Michael was that the person that you see in the This Is It announcement for the 50 concerts at the O2 Arena does not look like Michael Jackson. If you look at his smile, you look at his ambiance, it's just not the same. It feels like a double. So I'm curious about that. But on the other level, I happened to come across the scientist, the roboticist, that was creating a robot to take in Michael Jackson's soul. Now, if you think that's strange, go look into the MIT research into mind-preserving technology, and then also realize that Michael Jackson wasn't buried with his brain.
Michael Jackson wasn't buried with his brain.
That's right.
Okay.
And I have the scientist stating it that he had built a robot to receive Michael Jackson's soul. And this technology is out there. It is databased by MIT scientists. It's not some flight of fancy. Michael Jackson thought a lot about his death. I wonder a lot about what happened. But as soon as he died, what happened was that bust from the Chicago Museum suddenly sprouts up. And this gets me on the idea of time-traveling Nazis. And so there's lots to say about Michael Jackson, the use of space-based weapons, and you can, if we had time, I would cover all of that. But basically, I wonder if he's not been transported through electronic means, his soul, into either another body or another time, because all of a sudden that bust shows up from ancient Egypt. No one can really state whether it was there before he died, and it's identical to Michael Jackson. So when you go to my website at FREEMANTV.com and you look at the picture of Obama as Akhenaten, Michelle as Queen T, and then Michael Jackson as this strange bust that suddenly showed up in the Chicago Museum, you're going to really start to wonder where your culture comes from. You're going to realize why there's a pyramid in Memphis and in Las Vegas, and why the street plans of D.C. are set up in pentagrams, and all of these other things will start to come clear. The Luciferian would believe is that their race is actually superior to the lesser races. And so it's a very racist belief system that believes in the superiority of a hierarchical spirituality. And so that's really where the Luciferian belief system comes in. Then the power of Lucifer, the seething power of Lucifer that Manly P. Hall speaks of, is the type of magic that they can perform within the rituals to bring about change in the real world through consciousness change in their heads. And so within ritual, everything has to be specifically laid out to an ordered plan. And that'll be very important as we uncover what I'm telling you.